call out injustices. That's what I want to do, and this here is an injustice. So recently on TikTok, I've been seeing a pattern of a lot of people defending problematic content. And I'm gonna call it out by name. I see a lot of people supporting the Dougherty Dozen. I don't think the Dougherty Dozen are great. Those kids are constantly being exploited, constantly being on camera without their permission. Little moments that mom films and puts on YouTube or on TikTok get broadcasted to the public, including to students in their school, because they are all in public school, and then they all get bullied. Like Alex Dougherty is getting bullied right now. Like,
Mom, I'm not gonna eat dinner.
Okay.
No, I need to eat more. No, I want 3 more.
Okay. You need 3 eggs?
12 children, 4 biological, 8 adopted, all constantly paraded, allegedly abused and exploited by their mother. If I told you about a family that has no secrets of their entire lives, with their lives and the lives of their minors on the internet, from medical histories, sexual activities to childhood traumas, etc., a family that wastes food for views, spends unnecessarily and intentionally feeds the children fast foods, extremely sugary and fatty meals that would cause diseases, disabilities, and lifelong issues to them in the future, you may find it exaggerating, but the Doherty Dozen family exists. Not to mention their mother's constant alcohol usage, her losing custody of one of the kids in foster care during a court case, leading fans to wonder if they really live the way they do behind the camera, or is it all for performance and show? But we can agree on one thing as we explore the family, that the Doherty Dozen, without a single doubt, is the most controversial family on social media. If you've ever scrolled through social media or consumed family content, chances are that you've come across the Doherty Dozen, a family that lives in Pittsford, and led by their mother, Alicia Doherty. Their mostly behind-the-scenes father, Joshua Bright Doherty, and their 12 children, in no particular order: Alex, James, Patrick, Bree, Jordan, Jason, Deshawn, Nevaeh, Zoe, Dashel, or Dash, Bodhi, and Harley.
How we became a family of 14. We are Josh and Alicia Dougherty. After 9 years of infertility, we decided to adopt from foster care. We adopted Alex when he was 5 years old, and 6 days later, we found out we were pregnant with Zoe. The next year, we adopted James from foster care, and 2 weeks later, we found out we were pregnant with Dash. When they were babies, we were asked to take foster care placement of Jordan and Jason for 5 days, but we ended up adopting the twins. We also gave birth to Bodhi Blaze and Harley Quinton. Then we heard about a sibling group in a residential treatment facility being split apart for adoptions, so we decided to adopt Bree and Patrick to keep them together. And last year, we took kinship placement of Deshawn and Nevaeh, and that's how we became the Dougherty Dozen.
At first glance, their channel looks like any typical family vlog, consisting of grocery shopping videos, meal preps, big birthday parties, and a big family that's always up and running. But if you take a closer look, you would realize how uncanny and disturbing this family's lifestyle really is. Their family is constantly facing backlash for overfeeding the kids, overspending on unnecessary items, and constantly oversharing private details, especially about minors, without the care of future implications. But before we dig deep into the controversy surrounding the Doherty Dozen, let's look at their history and where it all started. Alicia Doherty turned her life as a full-time mom into a social media career, building one of the most watched family channels on TikTok and YouTube. Meanwhile, her husband Josh works as a public school teacher and sports coach in upstate New York. Before Alicia became a full-time content creator, she worked as a nanny, and long before the world watched her pack meals by 5 a.m. and play the role of a supermom, Alicia had openly spoken about her infertility struggles and miscarriages for over 9 years, and her dream of building a rather large family with or without being able to conceive. So she began fostering early on, before she slowly transitioned into adopting. Alicia and Josh decided to adopt a child in 2011 from foster care. Following their struggles, Alex, who was their first son and was 5 years old at the time. Less than a week later, Alicia found out she was pregnant with her first biological child, Zoe. The next year, she and Josh adopted James from foster care, and 2 weeks later, she found out she was pregnant with her son Dashel, also known as Dash. The family continued to grow, because when Dash was a year old, she and Josh were asked to take foster care placement of 7-year-old twins, Jason and Jordan, whom they later adopted. She also gave birth to her son, Bodhi, in 2016, and Harley in 2018. Alicia also revealed that when Harley was a baby, they had learned of a sibling group in need of a family and adopted Patrick and Bree, and later on took kinship placement of Deshawn and Nevaeh. The household consists of Alicia and Josh's biological children, their adopted children, as well as children who came from foster care placements, all with their own needs and wants. Their public narrative centers around this, with Alicia posting herself as an advocate for adoption awareness, special needs parenting, and being a resource for parents, especially overwhelmed moms. It is on this basis of having 12 children that the Doherty Dozen was formed. But their breakout did not happen immediately. Alicia had been posting videos of their family for far longer than when their content started being noticed. But during the pandemic, the brand exploded. Her content revolved around what her 12 kids ate in a day, early morning routines, packing lunch videos, matching outfits, roll call introduction of her 12 children, etc.
Dougherty Dozen birth year roll call.
Alex, what year were you born?
2006.
James, what year were you born?
2007.
Patrick, what year were you born? Bree, what year were you born?
2011.
Zoe, what year were you born?
2012.
Dash, what year were you born?
2014.
Jordan, what year were you born?
2014.
Jason, what year were you born?
2014.
Booty, what year were you born? Carly, what year were you born?
Their content was chaotic and relatable to families, to moms who understood having so much to deal with. Their viral grocery hauls and lunch prep routines also helped shoot up their engagement, and the audience loved the family and their content. Slowly, the Doherty Dozen rose both on YouTube and TikTok, amassing followers upon followers and now boasting over 7 million followers. Alicia quickly went from documenting her everyday mom life to managing a viral social media account and building a brand whose content fans loved. But with fame comes scrutiny. Fans began to dig deeper, look beyond the supposed normal content, noticing the cracks in what Alicia shared online. This is when their unraveling began, and the numerous controversies started. The controversies involving the Doherty Dozen are fueled by fans and critics noticing certain loopholes in what Alicia posts, and she posts a whole lot. We already know that Alicia and Josh have 12 children, 8 of whom are adopted. However, these children have lived in varying foster homes, have various traumas and special needs they brought into the home and family, including their medical diagnoses. Alicia was and has been open about a lot of things, but unlike other family vloggers, Alicia doesn't just share her family's routines. She shares their diagnoses, therapy journeys, trauma histories, medical schedules, and issues for the whole world. Not just of her adopted children, but of her biological children. While a few praise this as bravery and transparency in a world where a lot of people are anything but, Alicia did not pretend her home was perfect. But for a lot of people, it began to feel very uncomfortable. As the audience grew, the questions grew about her oversharing. She puts everything online, including private sensitive medical information. She could literally be eliminating job opportunities for her kids by what she posts. She provides the names, the locations, and the schools her kids attend, making them targets. Her oversharing everything about her kids, bio and non. She's also totally outrage marketing. She's very calculated in what she does. It's gross. Alicia has shared her and Josh's struggle with ADHD. She also has shared with the public that 9 out of her children struggle with ADHD and have to take melatonin so they can sleep.
Hey, so 9 of our 10 children are diagnosed with ADHD, as are myself and my husband. So there are 11 of us in this house that are medicated for ADHD. Harley is the only one not with the diagnosis. She's only 2 years old though. And we also all of us have the associated sleep issues that come with ADHD. So almost all of us take melatonin if we want to sleep.
Alicia has also shared that some of her children struggle with incontinence, which is the involuntary leakage of urine or stool, because of their fetal alcohol spectrum syndrome, FASD, which is a lifelong preventable neurodevelopmental condition caused by alcohol consumption during pregnancy. It causes permanent brain damage resulting in behavioral learning and physical challenges. She also revealed that they no longer fit in pull-ups, which are used for potty training, and now need Depends, which are used to manage incontinence, urinary or fecal, and provide a more discreet, grown-up feel for older children. She even encouraged fans to check out a People's article where she shared even more information. These kinds of details do not belong on the internet. They embarrass these children, set them up for constant mockery, bullying, and a lifetime of being known by your medical issues instead of as an individual. The children who wore Depends.
A People magazine article on us that does address this. That link is in our website. But some of my children battle incontinence because of their fetal alcohol syndrome, and so we have to get them Depends because they no longer fit in pull-ups. So yes, if you've ever seen these in my cart, that is why. Developmental regression and delays is very common with kids with fetal alcohol syndrome. So definitely check out that article if you want to know more.
Alicia has also shared that some of her kids that she's cared for have a combination of bipolar genetics, trauma and neglect, alcohol and drug use in utero, which has caused these kids low IQ, brain damage, executive functioning issues, cognitive issues, and developmental delays. Many people felt like sharing such details could result in her children getting bullied and facing constant humiliation because of this type of content. They never go away, and these kids will be constantly haunted by them. But you thought that was all? She also revealed that most of them had been removed multiple times from different homes.
So for a lot of the kids that we've cared for in foster care, they have the combination of bipolar genetics, trauma and neglect, alcohol and drug use in utero, which has caused brain damage, low IQ, executive functioning issues, cognitive issues, developmental delays. And then you add in multiple.
And as expected, she got criticized for it. One person commented, "How will his PTSD be when he finds out that the person who's supposed to be protecting him shared with the internet that he had to wear Depends?" And honestly, how did her kids feel? It was not enough that they probably feel shame in private. Now they have to feel shame in public too, over their mother's inability to keep her mouth shut. But that's not even close to the number of things Alicia has spilled about these children. She's also revealed to everyone how one of her adopted daughters, whose name we will withhold for obvious reasons, has been let down and hurt by every male in her life. And so she acts horribly towards Josh, Alicia's patient as a saint husband who asks her to dance whenever she starts acting out.
I wanted to share an update on Josh's relationship. We adopted 1 year ago from residential treatment facility. She had a lifetime of being mistreated by every male in her life, and that got transferred onto my husband, Josh. She believes that, he is going to mistreat her, which he does not, but she takes out her anger on her past on to him. Now, patience of a saint, he just endures it. And his new thing, anytime she starts being defiant and angry with him, is he asks her if she wants to dance.
Just to be with you.
Not only does she share personal details of these minors, but she also makes it known which child she's referring to, removing the last cloak of anonymity these children could have had. And all for what? She's also revealed physical abuse done to one of her sons, setting up the child's future to be filled with secrets they never consented to be out in the open.
The most tragic thing that happened to one of our children that we adopted from foster care is that they were taken from their home as a toddler for suspected physical abuse. He then spent 4 years in an abusive, neglectful foster home. His biological mom kept telling the workers, "Why does he have bruises all over him?" 4 years of added abuse at the hands of the system, who is supposed to protect him.
Revealing his PTSD score being double and how he still flinches to this day.
His PTSD score is double the score you need for a qualifying diagnosis. 8 years later, and he still flinches if we move too fast near him, like we're going to hit him. The system needs to wake up and pay attention. Trust their gut and protect these kids.
It may seem like she's advocating for a better foster care system and protection of these kids, but can that advocacy not happen without sharing personal information that harms kid in the present and in the future? Alicia also revealing that these kids spend hours breaking things every day as a result of trauma, crying, shouting, and having explosive rage. These are personal information and moments of weakness nobody wants broadcast for the whole world to see or hear about.
And then you add in multiple removals from homes. These kids don't know whether they're coming or going anymore. They're locked in fight, flight, or freeze. The specific behaviors that we've dealt with because of this are explosive rage, such as screaming, crying, and breaking things for hours every day, lying, stealing, food hoarding, food binging, attempting to attach to people in the community, such as teachers, so that they have a backup parent because they think that we'll get rid of them, poor hygiene, and low self-esteem.
And she was criticized for it, this person saying, "She gives out too much information about these kids, trying to make herself a hero or some kind because they all have issues and she took them in." I mean, it does make sense because she makes these videos like she's some advocate, sounding like she saved these kids while exposing all of these details without any care. Other people on the internet have also agreed that she puts up an air of heroism and does not care about the implications of her actions on these kids. Well, of course she's a hero. Nothing bothers her because she ignores them. She's so damn asinine. But you'd think Alicia would care or take the backlash seriously. But she doesn't ever stop. Is there ever a thing like too much information? Not with Alicia.
Have all of your foster kids have a disability?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. I grew up with my oldest brother having schizoaffective disorder. It's a cross between schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Genetically, a lot of the foster kids that we've had have had bipolar disorder or similar behavior issues. There are a lot of foster homes that don't know how to handle this, and that's when kids start bouncing through foster homes. Now for me, I'm not even fazed by it. Bipolar manic, I get it. Schizophrenia-like anxiety, I understand it. Massive raging and screaming for 4 hours, doesn't even bother me.
This is a message to everyone spamming me that I should not have adopted black children because I am white. One day we got a call asking if we could take foster care placement of twin baby boys. Every other foster family had said no. They were malnourished, had special needs, and one of them had 2nd and 3rd degree burns. They spent years trying to find a biological family that could take them. Everyone said no, or wasn't qualified to meet their extensive needs. 3 years later the twins' case moved to adoption. Their biological mom requested they be adopted by a black family. They searched for an adoptive family that was black. They all said no.
She has also revealed that one of her adopted kids came with a sexual history and they had cameras around the house. The question she was asked, why were there security cameras in the house? A question she could have answered differently or not at all to protect the privacy of her kids.
Yes, that is a Me Share security camera. We have them all throughout the inside and outside of our home, except the bathrooms, so that helps us to keep it in regulation standards since the children change in the bathrooms. Many foster families have found the need for these security cameras since some common behaviors of foster children can be lying, stealing, and physical aggression. Not all foster children, but this can be a common theme. These cameras help us to keep accountability for our children's actions. Say if they steal something and say they didn't steal it, we can just watch back the footage and find out what happened. We specifically put these cameras in before one of our placements came with sexual history. We wanted to make sure that we had 24/7 monitoring in our house so that all of our children were safe at all times. Thanks.
Some critics think that she reserves her oversharing for the kids she adopted because most of her oversharing relates to foster care. However, Alicia overshares for every single other one of her kids. None are exempt from her disgusting behavior.
My 4-year-old with autism went about 3 years of his life not eating solids due to several factors: gastroparesis, oral dysphagia, autism, food pickiness. Chromosome 2 duplication, which also displays very similar to autism. He has full fetal alcohol syndrome as well. He has RO PTSD, add in low IQ genetics, severe trauma, attachment disorder. He was dealt the worst deck of cards in life. And yet he wakes up every single morning happy, full of life, and full of enthusiasm and love.
Alicia vlogged herself going to the pharmacy and, with absolutely no care, revealed the pharmacist naming each child and the specific medication they all needed. A violation of their medical privacy, if not for anything.
This is dermatology face cream. A couple things. So I'm gonna go pick those up at the pharmacy drive-thru. They usually have all our stuff in a basket here waiting for us, just like at the post office. It's the Dougherty treatment.
Okay, so I got.
Okay.
Again, she was criticized for violating her children, both adopted, foster, and biological, in such a horrible way. The fact that she posted a video of the pharmacist naming each child and then the specific medication that they're on is so messed up, and it's a huge violation of their individual privacy. It's also incredibly messed up to think. Many viewers also shared the opinion that sharing such details with not even a single non-disclosure of certain details will harm the children when they get older. It becomes searchable content that anyone could put 2 and 2 together and figure out which child she's referring to if it wasn't already obvious.
Don't sleep. They both have an undiagnosed sleep disorder that we've been trying to figure out for the past 5 years. They sleep about 3 hours a night.
Broken sleep. Other than that, they're just on the go about all day, every day. They want to do sleep studies on them, but in order to get an accurate sleep study, they need to sleep 6 hours.
And that has not happened. Even with 0.3 milligrams clonidine, 10 milligrams melatonin, and 100 milligrams gabapentin, they only sleep 3 hours a night.
These children may not be able to know the implications of her actions now, but when they're older, they will feel the weight of her actions.
Parenting 10 children with special needs means there are a lot of medications, vitamins, and supplements to sort out. While some have medical needs like gastroparesis, many of our children adopted from foster care battle bipolar genetics combined with their PTSD.
However, Alicia doesn't end the oversharing at just her children's diagnoses and medical history. She also sets her camera and talks about her adopted kids' birth parents and families, exposing these birth parents' struggles and blaming them for how these kids currently are. Alicia came onto the internet and talked about the twin boys she adopted, and their birth mom and her struggle with chain smoking, which inadvertently has affected the twin boys, causing them to need 3 allergy meds and inhalers daily. I mean, she could have shared that information without posting the twin boys and making it obvious which child she's referring to. Or better still, not sharing the struggles of her adopted children's birth parents. She also overshared that her adopted twin boy's dad was in jail, and was currently out of jail. Information that I can bet these boys will grow up not to want on the internet.
So yeah, I'm kind of hoping now that the twins' dad is staying out of jail that he can be the one to bring them, because they would not even give me the time of day.
Viewers argued whether such blame needed to be passed for the whole world to see, with different people sharing their opinions, like this user who said, "Well, her kids will definitely get bullied now. Mom of the year. Wow. Just wow." Another user shared their opinion saying, "I think she's just making tough choices for her kids, and that is fine, but why does she have to be a hypocrite about certain things? If you gotta be a mama, be a mama. No need to try to look good for the camera, hun." Lots of viewers have been feeling like Alicia shares all of these details, not minding the consequences, just to look like some kind of hero and good person for the internet.
6 of our adopted children have this diagnosis, however, only 3 of them exhibit the behaviors anymore.
Who, as you look on her paperwork, battles depression, cuts herself, has self-coping mechanisms, is going through trauma. Like, freaking read the paperwork.
Every single person in my house has an anxiety disorder. Surprise, surprise. And like one of the anxiety things is that like she's gonna get her period like at any moment, any time, and she's not gonna know. So she wears like period underwear every day. And I'm telling you this not to be weird, I'm telling you this because in case you have a kid like mine and that can help you. That underwear, I mean, it's just normal underwear, right? Makes all the difference.
Some TikTokers have also shared their disgust with her oversharing behavior, calling it an injustice towards the kids she's meant to protect.
It's like, hey, little Jimmy, come sit in front of the camera and we'll record a video of you getting literally harassed. And then we'll post it to everyone, and then you can go to school and get bullied. And that's my love, you know, I'll give you an extra $20 to do that. Like, fuck. It's so frustrating. Everyone who supports this behavior, you're making it look bad. You're making it become something normal to people who want to hate and to people who want to harm other people. I here have a platform and I can talk about whatever I want. I want to call out injustices. That's what I want to do, and this here is an injustice. And I'd be doing a disservice for not calling out this behavior and not calling out the normalization of this behavior.
Unfortunately, labeling kids as their traumas and pains rather than as individuals with more to their story is an injustice to those kids. However, Alicia is beyond correcting, as she's also shared online the kids' emotional moments any child would grow up and wish were not shared for the world to see.
Is mad at me, so he threw all the toilet paper out the window, giving us this fun, festive Halloween look.
Great question, Kathy. He's currently mad at me because his biological parents did not show up to his birthday party on Friday.
So not only are you sharing your child from foster care having some kind of trauma response, you're showing that for content, you're also trying to vilify the child's parent by saying they didn't show up so they're mad at me. I am just so happy that I was adopted before social media, so anything that I did like that wasn't filmed for content. That is such a violation of that child's rights. Oh my goodness.
She's also repeatedly and tirelessly talked about some of her kids having explosive rage, lasting for hours, destroying property, screaming and crying. She may think she's sharing such content to raise awareness, but she's only exposing a child's vulnerable moment and setting them up for ridicule. However, Alicia never really learns. She also revealed the attachment style of some of her kids, saying some of them bond with their teachers and make them as backup parents in case they leave. Information that has no business being shared with the whole world.
Attempting to attach to people in the community, such as teachers, so that they have a backup parent because they think that we'll get.
The list does not end with the amount of oversharing Alicia does, but she's also made dupe comparisons between her kids and fictional characters. Specifically, she called one of her sons a sideshow Bob dupe, and her 3 small boys, the adopted black twin boys, and her white biological son, Oreo triplets, which some people felt had a racial undertone, leading her to be tagged as a racist.
Hey, so I wanted to answer this because I have tried repeatedly to bring my twins to a black barber, and I am repeatedly shunned by the entire barbershop. They won't look at me, they won't deal with me, they won't take my twins. We will stand there for an hour being completely ignored.
She's also referred to another child as a Rue Bennett dupe, referencing a character from an adult TV series, which some viewers felt was improper and inappropriate, especially for a minor. Nevertheless, these emotional, vulnerable details of kids' lives are not being shared by other family vloggers. And despite the criticism she continues to receive for the violation of these children's rights, Alicia continues to overshare. Some fans argue that she's only raising awareness and has unnecessary hate shown towards her, like this fan who said, "Shame on you for doing this to her. She took 8 children out of foster care and feeds them and spoils them and loves them, and not only that, doesn't keep them from their biological family. Are any of you getting kids out of foster care? If she wants to share her story of taking these kids, she can." And some others think she's just monetizing these kids as trauma and does not care for them, with her constant oversharing and setting the kids up for bullying.
Don't get me wrong, no one is perfect. But there are a lot of foster care and adoptive parents that I, as an adoptee and teacher, have a lot of respect for. What I don't respect is a content creator sharing to over 5 million followers their child's trauma and using that trauma and their story for a paid advertisement. And when people with a lived experience, just voice our genuine concern, you block us. If you truly wanted to be the best foster care adoptive parent to the children in your home, don't you think you'd want to listen to what we have to say? Even if you don't agree with it. We're the ones who live through it. Parasocial relationships on the internet are becoming a very dangerous thing. No one actually knows this person online. I wouldn't consider having your entire life vlogged, including your bedroom shown with the locks on the doors, being lucky. But what do I know? My own adoptive mother didn't try to do that to me or anything. Kids aren't content.
But as the debate and constant criticism over privacy continues to rise, viewers began to also notice some very weird patterns with the family. They began to also face backlash over the way that food is portrayed on their channel. A lot of the criticism they faced centered around Alicia feeding her kids carbs, sugars, and a lot of processed meals as opposed to home-cooked or healthier meals. Lots of fans have expressed their displeasure with this pattern. I don't consider myself a complete health food nut, obsessive over every bite my kids takes, but her meal offerings are downright horrific, badly planned. Cold waffles, mountains of muffins, and over junk food lunches and trays of oily dinner slop, and the absurd amount of snacks? Yikes. I mean, we see it in her shopping runs, a singular bag of oranges, a little box of strawberries, and some bananas for fruit, but 6 boxes of chips and more muffin bites and bags upon bags of candy for every special day, which is every day. It still just horrifies me how much sugar soda and how much bottled water they go through. Even though by now each kid has at least 10 water bottles with their name on it. And the amount of paper plates and plastic cutlery? I'm not sure of the, we have 11 kids and we're gonna completely fill a landfill with recyclables and food waste. Watch! But yeah, their diet is a damn train wreck in slow-mo. Now, I know she has so many kids with different wants and needs. I honestly couldn't do what she does, but I see how she feeds the kids and all. I mean, all of it's processed. Just look at the lunches. They're so packed full of food and everything in it is unhealthy junk. Not to mention the portions between the 18-year-old and the 4-year-old is the same. I saw their snack pantry and oh my god, there is nothing healthy there either. If you see her What I Feed My Kids Today videos, there's like 3 snacks a day. I try not to be judgy because, again, I know she has so many mouths to feed and probably not a lot of time. But her 2 oldest boys are overweight, which isn't their fault with how much she feeds them. The way these kids are eating can't be good long term. I mean, they're not wrong. Alicia feeds her kids way too much sugar, too much processed foods, which we all know cannot compare to the nutrients and health benefits of home cooking.
Here's what my kids ate today. For breakfast, I made bubble waffles with sausage links, bacon, and strawberries. For lunch, they had steak and rice with peas, a Hawaiian roll, applesauce, Doritos, chocolate coins, and Gatorade. Dad Dougherty made pretzels for their afternoon snack. Dinner tonight was a Thai chicken ramen bar with pork egg rolls. And they had fortune cookies for dessert. Bon appetit! Happy Lunar New Year!
While she truly does have a lot of mouths to feed and maybe not enough time, her responsibility is to her kids and to ensure they are healthy always. Instead, she feeds all the kids, including the little ones, junk in the morning, for lunch and for dinner. Alicia also rarely cooked, and she's always packing their lunches with processed, canned, or packaged meals, even down to the vegetables these children consume, none freshly produced or gotten. All packaged. I mean, she could at least try to give the kids fresh veggies, even if she cannot give them anything else that's healthy. Some viewers also criticize the unhealthy combinations she adds for the children. Pizza rolls for lunch instead of something worthwhile for the children? Some of the viewers have even noted how she gives each child the same portion of food. The 6-year-old gets the same portions as the 18-year-old. No difference, and there's no need to tell the impact on the children. Why do the little ones get the same amount of food as the old ones? But most of their kids are currently overweight for their age because the amount of processed and unhealthy food she feeds them. Their meals also lack any balance, with food high in sodium, leading to questions about long-term nutrition in these growing children, and how this would adversely affect their health. Like this critic said, Alicia is setting the kids up for diabetes, heart disease, and fatty liver disease, among other things. She's also shortening their lifespan. It's disgusting. Alicia has some sort of mental illness, in my opinion, for doing this. Aside from the obvious excess of processed foods, which she feeds her children, some of the viewers have criticized the lack of hot foods, noticing that those foods do not look to be tasty or have any flavor, which the children also greatly need. Healthy. Laughing crying emoji. But where is, like, hot food? However, the kids even have fridges that she constantly loads with sugary drinks, chocolates, and sugar in general.
Mini fridge restock for my 10 kids. This week, Harley asked for
Kinder Eggs.
Bodie wanted
And considering some of the kids have health sensitivities, this much sugar, sodium, and lack of any fresh foods or veggies is wrong on all levels. One of the most talked about moments was the 24-hour McDonald's challenge, where the entire family ate only McDonald's for a full day, including cookies, large drinks, and spending a whole lot of money on junks instead of what could aid the kids' growth. The criticism rose to just how much content should take priority over safe and healthy eating. However, it is not the first time Alicia has put her kids' health on the line for content. Like the time she bought a ridiculous amount of junks, like when they were on a road trip and ate a lot of Dunkin' for breakfast, McDonald's for lunch, and HGB for dinner. Constantly buying junk is a staple for the Doherty Dozen at this point. It's also very ironic because Alicia has revealed that due to the fatal alcohol spectrum, some of her children are addicted to sugar, yet she constantly feeds them sugar.
To sugar, and that reminds me, sugar and dairy and carbs. they can create an addiction to. Pouches, cereal stock up, honey buns, muffin bites, can't forget the coffee. Bread, bagels, buns, Hawaiian rolls, milks, caramel macchiato, creamer, 19 pounds of cheese, 6 frozen pizzas, meatballs for meatball subs, and a bunch of really good looking desserts. Grabbed some red, white, and blue pretzels and headed to checkout. That's
Some fans have even insinuated that their toilet must be reeking, and advised Alicia to, instead of spending such a ridiculous amount on unhealthy meals, that she could literally invest those hundreds of dollars on healthier options. That bathroom better be reeking. Don't want to be a Karen myself, but that is trash food for real. Would be so much healthier and less money spent for fresh food. Some viewers also questioned if her children actually eat her food, after a now deleted clip surfaced on the internet of Alicia telling her kids that she didn't care if they ate. She only wanted to make videos.
Mom, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
No, I need two more. No, I want 3 more.
Okay. You need 3 eggs?
You know, it's so. Do you like being Zoe? Do you like being on Instagram? Do you like being on social media?
Some days.
Do your
Oh,
friends-
that's what I was
like,
gonna
what-
say
what do your
before.
friends-
I forgot to answer that before. When you said how do the kids like being in videos, and so something we do is I always say, like, I'll come up with the idea, like, oh, some dance challenge or whatever comes into my mind. I'm like, this is what we're doing, like this weekend. Stop. I'll be like, this weekend I said we're doing a pool jump challenge, and I said, like, you guys are in bathing suits. If you don't want to do this, that's okay.
No, I need 2 more. Dinner. So.
And so they choose, like, if they're going to be in that video or not. And a lot of times people will come in the comments that are like, why isn't Zoe in this video? Or why isn't Bodhi in this video? And they get all upset that not every single kid is in every single video. And I'm like, because they didn't want to be, you know?
Right, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And she usually bribes Harley's with
Yeah.
Zoe, let me tell you something. Anybody who says that bribes are not used at some point is not telling the truth. We all use bribes at some point when they are
It's my
needed.
best parenting tactic.
No, I need 2 more. Dinner. So.
Meaning she forces them most times against their will and cares more about her content than what they consume, leading other critics to really question if the kids actually do consume her meals, if her early morning videos are just for clout, and she makes all that food and wastes it just for views and some supermom points, which are rather unnecessary. Like this critic said, I think 99% of what she makes they don't eat. Or this other critic who said, I would legit have more respect for her if she just showed herself making this kind of stuff, instead of putting on this big act and making ridiculous things like the crockpot slop meals, lol. I know she does this for views, but if she acted a little more down to earth and threw some carrots or something on the plate with some smiley fries and a chicken sandwich, I'd be rooting for her, at least as far as food goes. So Dia's clearly eating some sort of bagel type thing, and in the back you can see somebody eating an Uncrustable for lunch or dinner, with smiley faces. She's never even prepared this as far as we've seen, and they aren't eating the same thing. Proof that what she prepares on camera is different to what they eat. There have also been talks regarding their pantry and how it's only stacked with junk. Her pantry restocks are also only for junks, as opposed to other pantry restocks. However, Alicia has defended what she feeds her children. She claimed not to understand the hate and asserted that she feeds them what works for them, not what anyone thinks is healthy or not. I guess what works for them is junk then? Okay, Alicia. She also said that even when she puts veggies, the critics are still not satisfied and asks for a variety in vegetables. Doherty is confused why someone would take the time to bash her family's food choices. What does that fulfill in them to spew hate at someone behind a computer screen? I don't understand. Doherty says even when she shares videos with serving vegetables to the kids, she gets critiques for serving the same vegetables, corn and carrots, every week. Those are vegetables I know they'll eat, she says. Especially in today's economy, why would I spend money on other vegetables that my kids aren't going to eat and throw them out? While Alicia has numerous critics for her food choices, some people are out here calling her a supermom and defending her food choices. But that is not the only criticism Alicia and her family have faced. Some critics have accused the Doherty Dozen of overspending, over $1,000 to $2,000 on groceries for just a week. $1,802 for the week. You are the boss. Viewers have called this overconsumption and overspending, when the family could prioritize spending less money on more quality items and food instead of their usuals, which are nothing but crappy and unhealthy meals. But Alicia does not care, as she constantly makes these grocery hauls, spending an enormous amount of money, with fans wondering how she can make so much money. Some of the things she purchases are unnecessary. Paper plates, too much junk. I mean, even 540 bottles for a week. Fans have even advised her to try reusable water bottles to save cost. But as you can imagine, that fell on deaf ears. The bottled waters are ridiculous. 540 water bottles for a family of 12 for a week. 45 bottles a day. The least Alicia has spent so far on her viral grocery hauls is $700, with the total going well over $1,000 and even into the $2,000 range for a week. Does she do this for rage bait or engagement? Or is she just being dumb and financially illiterate? But I believe she does it all for the engagement, because not only does she make people curious with how she's able to afford that much stuff for just a week, she gets her critics mad, and it all brings engagement to her page. Different fans have expressed displeasure with her spending on food and unnecessary groceries when she could prioritize saving or using that money for other purposes that could better the lives of those kids. It may cost less with processed food. Not hating, but the price is astronomical. However, the Doherty Dozen overspending habit on the internet goes far beyond food and also applies to the children. Alicia's been constantly criticized for spoiling the kids, who fans believe are being spoiled due to the number of things she constantly spoils them with. Like when she bought 12 iPads, amongst other expensive gifts for the children for Christmas, with different viewers questioning how she can afford this much stuff for her kids. How do you get so much money?
Come Christmas shopping with me for my 12 kids. Football gloves, clothes, shoes, basketballs, a wrestling set for Jason, some necklaces for the teens. At the Plug, I got some Jordan Retro 4s and cherries. At the Apple Store, I got 12 iPad 10s and keyboard cases. And then I went to Target, I got some baby doll stuff, Barbies, Legos, toys, hula hoops.
And she doesn't reserve this spending for just Christmas. Black Fridays, birthdays, and even regular days are not exempt from Alicia's overspending. Kids need spoiling, yes, but when you give them both unnecessary and necessary things, it becomes a problem eventually, raising really entitled, spoiled children. Critics argue that the children definitely do not need that much stuff. Okay, but why do they need that much stuff anyways? You buy new shoes every couple months. Alicia overperforms for the internet. Her overspending and food wasting are all done to build engagement. The video of her buying the kids 12 iPads and other extravagant things just for Christmas after buying expensive things for Black Friday had over 1 million likes, leading viewers to believe she intentionally performs for engagement, as this is what gives her money and the family the publicity they need. Leaving everyone with the question, is this really how they live behind cameras, or are they all just performing? Although this proves to be an issue, viewers have also pointed out Alicia's drinking problem with her constant buying of White Claws. She also claims that they go missing in the house, meaning either her older kids are drinking it or her minors are playing Curious Tom.
In case you're wondering why I have White Claw in my bedroom, I can't keep it in the garage anymore. It was just disappearing. I don't know. Suspicious activity. So now it has to get locked in my room. Not everyone keeps their White Claw.
Either way, the internet does not find it funny, especially given all she has shared about these kids. Some viewers also point out that in her early days of content, Alicia used to be drunk all the time in the videos. A lot of critics argue that this alleged alcohol addiction that she's doing very well to hide is now also affecting her kids, like the time she was exposed for feeding her kids alcohol.
I could have the champagne if I wanted to. What? He said I could have champagne if I wanted to because it won.
That was on Saturday.
Champagne and being recorded right now.
Yeah, why would I give you real champagne? No way. You're crazy.
You said I could have beer.
No, I never said that.
Yeah, hey, kids, they're easy.
And for someone with kids with fetal alcohol syndrome, this is beyond improper and borders on unsafe for these kids. Not to mention the time she was dropped by the brand Mothers Against Drunk Driving for being drunk and allowing her 16-year-old, who has no driver's license, to drive the family. This is completely against the brand's image and not even okay to start with, because anything could have happened.
Alex is driving because he has his permit, and Dad and I both drank drinks at dinner.
No, 4 other
Okay.
fees.
The benefits of having a teen driver.
Don't talk about that. Oh, soon you'll have kids. James, you're never driving. Yeah, I am.
Not to mention her constant buying of White Claws and drinking them every chance she gets.
These clothes, some snacks, you know, the basic necessities.
As expected, a lot of people had things to say about her behavior, which is obviously disturbing, not just for her and her kinship placement and fostering, but for the kids in her care, both biological and adopted.
It is very interesting that she has cut back on drinking videos after Mothers Against Drunk Driving ended their partnership with her. They posted this a few months ago. This is all public information. Let's read. We are grateful to members of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving community who brought issues related to our partnership with the Doherty Dozen to our attention. We failed to do our due diligence. In the future, we will work harder to ensure our partners both represent and advocate for Mothers Against Drunk Driving in a positive way that brings awareness to the issue of impaired driving and underage drinking prevention. Effective immediately, we have ended our partnership with the Doherty.
But Alicia came on the internet and claimed to have stopped drinking, so I guess she may be believed? But beyond the performance and Alicia's drinking habits that she claims are over, viewers constantly question the long-term consequences and implications of the actions Alicia takes with her children. But the ones currently playing out are the ones yet to happen. Alicia shares everything on the internet. As you've seen, she shares diagnoses, medications, vulnerable kids moments, and even school information and documents that put her children's safety at risk. Not only has it been reported that her kids are getting bullied in their prospective schools by their peers and seniors, some critics have shamed her for revealing details that could derail the safety of her kids by revealing their schooling information, and even their housing address as such public information, with people making videos where they stay. Not everyone has good intentions. Those kids could be seriously harmed by anyone who decides to use, for example, their school or housing addresses negatively. However, it goes beyond bullying and the safety of the child. Alicia has also been accused of exploiting these children for monetary benefits, especially her adopted children. Alicia claims that she puts her children's lives on the internet to bring awareness to foster care, and that she makes no money from the content that she puts out. Which is funny, because then who funds the $1,000 she just spent per week on just groceries? As expected, this pissed off a lot of viewers. Also, have we not all seen her budget list she did? It states right there she makes money off her social medias and partnerships because of social media, and her main content is her kids. So yeah, you're exploiting your kids, you dumb hoe. I also think if you want to share your family on here, at least don't share what they take for medications, where they go to school. If you do something, don't announce it until after you're done. Do your vlog without public knowledge of where you are. Be safe about it. If your kids don't want to be filmed, respect their wishes and keep them off of it. Doesn't make them do stupid dances and will get them bullied at school. Be smart, not stupid. She never speaks about the hardships of fostering or adopting. She's not advocating for anything. She makes these videos because people eat them up, because they are of her children, and her oldest son eats that shit up too, and she influences it. Some viewers alleged that he was the one stealing games from his younger siblings and selling them for cash, and some viewers believed he was also the one stealing the White Claws from Alicia to drink when she reported them constantly going missing.
We have no games anymore. One of our children decided to steal them all and sell them to GameStop.
Alicia, girl, what do you mean one of the kids stole video games from the little kids and sold them to GameStop? You spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on these kids. What do they need cash for? Also, I believe you have to be 18 in order to sell games for cash at GameStop. Only 2 of her kids are over the age of 18, which is James, who I don't even think lives at home. I think he went to college. Also, if you watch her videos, you know James is a sweetheart. I don't think James would ever do that, which means the only other person in that house over the age of 18 would be Big Red. Now, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, how could you talk about an 18-year-old child? He's 20. He's 20. And allegedly is stealing the video games of his, what, siblings that are 10 at the oldest? You're stealing your 10-year-old brother's video games and selling them to GameStop for cash? That's weird. Why are we doing that? Your mom buys you every single thing you look at. What do you need the cash for? Also, he's doing cameos and begging for cash like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. He also is living at home. Alicia bought him a truck that he crashed. I think he got another one though.
Alex has also faced heat for cheating on his ex-girlfriend Natalie, who he was in a very public relationship with. Criticisms blaming his obvious disturbing behavior on his upbringing with Alicia.
Hi, this is the much asked for story time of the Alex Dougherty incident and us. Okay, so it started off because like he kept asking her to hang out like for like a month, right? And like finally she's like texted me and she was like, all right, like let's just go do it. And I like wanted to too because hello, it's Alex Dougherty, like we want to go hang out with him. And so we went, and by the time we got there, he wasn't even there, but he was like texting her like, what do you want to do?
And I was just like, no, this is awkward
but he
already.
was texting her that, and then when they finally did get there, they like roll up in his friend's truck. They were doing a burnout in the freaking parking lot. Like, wow, you're so cool. And there's like 4 guys and us, and we finally get out of my car. And, like, we're walking over to, like, where they're standing by, like, his other friend's car. And I'm like, hey, like, what's up? And he just goes, hi. Like, looking down at his phone, he goes, hi. That's it. Like, no continuing conversation, just that was it. And then...
Drama recap, the Doherty Dozen. This is possibly the most insane crossover of my career, but here we go. So, as you know, I used to make Doherty Dozen videos on Doherty Dozen if you want to be like that. And Alex Doherty is the oldest of the children, and so he was the first one to be fostered and adopted by Alicia and her husband. And yeah, he is probably the most present on social media out of the children. And so he got a girlfriend, his first girlfriend Natalie, and they posted each other all the time. She also had a public account. They were making cute little cut edits of each other, talking about how they were going to get married, how they were going to go to college together, blah blah blah. Well, it's been reported, this is all alleged, I didn't say it with my own eyes, but it's all been reported that Alex actually cheated on Natalie and then posted on his story, I'm so sorry Natalie, I couldn't help myself. Now, I can't find a screenshot of this happening. I didn't see it with my own eyes, so again, this is very much alleged and it's probably just drama for the sake of drama, but I have absolutely loved all of the trends that have come out of it, like all of the little memes saying like, no snackety board for you, Alex, like, you know, gonna miss roll call this month. And so obviously if it's true, my heart goes out to Natalie because what an awful thing to happen to anyone. And also it's very disappointing for Alicia that her son has gone out and done that. Obviously she's not the only one whose son has done that. But yeah, it will be interesting to see if there are any PR tactics involved coming out of this, or if she'll just continue to post content, which I think will be the case, because unlike the Annapol drama and other drama recaps that I've done in the past, it's not her directly who's done it, and also people will most likely forget in the coming weeks. So that's kind of the little update. I just thought that I'd comment on it because I found so many of you either from the Doherty Dozen or from drama recaps. I'm so happy that I've had an opportunity to put them together.
These are only some of the known disturbing details about Alex. So what about the ones that we do not know about? The allegedly dirty body he has, claimed by the women who have been with him. What about the other children who will all inadvertently face the consequences of Alicia's upbringing and worthy of critic behaviors? These kids deserve a life of safety, where they aren't put on for show, and can grow without the constant, unwarranted opinions of people they are bound to have as they continue to grow. But despite the critics, the Doherty Dozen and Alicia have supporters, with critics being called jealous or being accused of mom-shaming Alicia, who's only trying her best. Like this fan who said, "Shame on you for doing this to her. She took 8 children out of foster care and feeds them and spoils them and loves them. And not only that, doesn't keep them from their biological family." Are any of you getting kids out of foster care? If she wants to share her story of taking care of these kids, she can. The fan base is divided between critics who claim to see beyond her performance for the internet, and those who genuinely enjoy their content and think she's the best mom in the world.
This week I've been really trying to not watch the Doherty Dozen at all, because she like exploits her children. I don't want to give her money and stuff. But like, if I told you right now that I didn't just watch What My 11 Kids Ate Today playlist for 3 hours straight, I'd be lying. It's so good! Like, What My 11 Kids Ate Today. It's Muffin Board Monday, so we started with the Dolly Parton Muffin Mix. Like, it has a chokehold on me. Because I don't follow them, but sometimes I'll randomly be like, Dougherty Dozen, Muffin Board Monday. And I'll like scroll through and I just keep watching What My 11 Kids Ate Today. And I don't want to support this woman because she is terrible, but it's so good. Like, she knows what she's doing. She really knows what she's doing because she got me. She got me. And she got me good.
So much to celebrate today. All looks delish per usual. Wish I was a Doherty. You're literally a good mom. Whether her content is supported or not, it does not take away that Alicia could do better for her kids and take some criticism as constructive criticism, not a hate train that people are jumping on. Family vlogging is already a hectic ride, as it is, without intentionally, impacting the lives of the kids you swore to protect and care for. Or, what do you think?
Good morning. So obviously, yes, we would accept our children. Here's my thing with this. I don't want them to ever have to come out to me. I want them to just be that is who they are, and that's part of their identity, and it's just a known fact of that's them. So I've tried hard to cultivate this in them in ways like I never ever say, someday if you have a boyfriend. I'll always say, someday if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, if you choose to have a partner. When we play like the board game Life, they can choose if they want to be the little blue person or the little pink person, and they can choose if they want to get married or not, and they can choose if they want to marry a pink person or blue person. Yeah, any other ideas that people have to help me help my children grow into their true, authentic selves, I would greatly appreciate. Thanks.